one last time for tonight. We've got game number 5 of Saturday, game number 5 of our semi-finals, our third game of the second semi-final. The time to find out who will be playing against Diomed in the final of the Blood Bowl 3 2024 World Championship. It's perfectly poised, one game each, and we've got one of each of my colleagues here in the studio pulling for each team. Jimmy thinks it's going to be the Dark Elves of Wenteros that goes through. Andy's totally confident it's going to be Andriy's Imperial Nobility.
I'm totally confident.
And whoever loses gets the consolation prize of playing against Andy in the third and fourth game. So I don't know if, Andy, that's wish fulfillment, that you want to play against the Dark Elves, or who knows what he's thinking for that one. The players are prepped, so we will be getting into the game in just a second. Hopefully you took advantage of that break just now to get the snacks and drinks, just like I said. But yes, that is the situation we're in. Diomed through, Wenteros and Andriy playing for the final spot. How would you feel going into this last game? What would your mindset be? Oh, we're already in. We can do this as we go, and let's go into the game, and we'll go from there.
My mindset would be absolute confidence, because I'd be the Dark Elves.
Full confidence for Andy.
And Wenteros has won the toss and chosen to kick.
I like that. I actually like that. Because thinking about how the last game went, the Imperial Nobility drive fell apart pretty hard.
Yep.
I think this is fine. I think this is the rare occasion where both teams want this kickoff event.
Yeah.
Well, we saw last game, this is exactly what. So first game we had Knobs on defence first, and they had a successful defence. Second game they went offence first, and it was a disaster. So from Wenteros' point of view, just do exactly what we did last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're Andriy, what do you do about it?
It's a good point. Roll better, number one. Get some removals, and don't get your players surfed, and try to protect your linemen as much as possible. Your linemen are a bit vulnerable with AV8+. Try not to let them get picked off, and yeah.
It's really hard because you don't want anything getting hit, right? Because you don't want to lose the linemen, because then you just players down, and the bodyguards are the core of the team. You don't want to go those down either. So you just like, can you just not hit me, please?
yeah. You really need to not get hit at all, and the Dells need to hit as much as absolutely possible.
Short kick this time, so already a different shape to the drive to how we started last time. And on that kickoff event, as Chris was pointing out in chat, we got really sunny, which probably won't impact this match very much, because that plays on passes, and we're not expecting to see a lot of passes here, are we?
Ooh, wow.
Ooh.
So just like last game, it's an instant Kaz.
But this one can be apothecaried and is apothecaried, so that one's coming back. But still nice for the drive to be up a player right away, and now you know that any removals you can get as an ability will stick.
Yep.
So this is where I would consider starting. Thinking about fouling. Get a blodger on the floor, kick in the head. Get a blodger on the floor, kick it in the head.
Yeah.
As in, I did do it twice, that's not me just repeating myself.
Jimmy, because you've been here for through every game with me, I can barely remember any fouls this whole weekend. We feel like we've barely seen any. We've seen one or two tops.
Very good point, yeah. Very little fouling. I feel like the Witch Elves would have got fouled at some point, right?
Especially, again, this nobility build has got a little bit of leeway built into it with the 2 players on the bench, so you'd think fouling could well be part of the game plan.
Yeah. Yeah, really, hardly anything.
But we thought that with Diomed as well, having the 13 necromantic, and didn't foul either.
But he was always on the back foot, wasn't he, for the first game, and then the second game, I guess, like, he was using his players to do things and just didn't really have the opportunity to.
You have to reroll this, don't you, against elves?
Maybe not. He's
got a bit
really
of a screen
reinforced
around
it. Yeah.
Does reroll it and doesn't get it. It's exactly how the last game started, with a reroll on a pickup that didn't work.
It's all right. The ogre will pick it up against the sideline now.
Hey. Yeah, it was really, really well covered, right? He put everything in there beforehand, which made you think he was going to not re-roll it, and then did anyway.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
No?
The only time that goes wrong is if it bobbles onto the thrower, and then the thrower bobbles it onto the lineman, and the lineman bobbles it against the side of the field. Right? That would make me a little sad face.
Yes, more than a little, I think.
In the semi-final of the World Championships, I think that would small tantrum possibly.
Yeah, there might be a monitor replaced for them.
What you're saying? It's showing it wrong. Like, that's why I need a new monitor. I understand.
Wow.
mention passing once, someone says they miss Rick Reckless.
The passing lizards that he played once was insane, wasn't it? I'm just going to make a line.
Yeah, make a elf screen here to start things off, I think.
Yep. And then Frenzy hit the edge, the lefternmost nobility standy up blitzery thing.
What?
The blitzer, the nobility, no, not the blitzer. They're
The
not
blocker.
blitzers.
You mean
Blockers.
the blocker
Yes.
that has wrestle?
That one, yeah. Punch that in the head.
The wrestler.
Yeah, we're seeing chevrons again. This is like playing the AI, isn't it? It's just like, oh, we'll make this shape.
I mean, I wish this was like playing against the AI. It wouldn't go quite like this.
Yes, the AI, not quite at the level of these World Championship coaches, I think.
You could say that, yeah.
You could say that, just a little bit.
A tiny little bit worse.
Tiny gap between the two. You've talked about this lots on stream, Jim. It's really hard to make an AI for Blood Bowl because it's a really complicated game.
Yeah, I think what they should try and make is not an AI that Andy or me could play, but an AI that somebody like Dimmy could, get a good game out of it.
Let's not go after people in the audience.
I know that was just a joke. Something for new players, or for something that people, just kind of, I don't know what kind of win rate you'd expect it to get in ladder, but like something like a 30%, nothing much. Yeah, Dimmy's fine. Dimmy's going to be okay with that.
It's just teasing Dimmy, but they're friends. They're allowed to tease each other. But
yeah. Yeah, just something for new players and something for people who just want a casual bit of fun. I definitely don't think they should try and make something like top level.
It's the biggest thing is to not ruin the immersion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Don't make it do silly things, and if it can do competent things, that's fine. Just competent plus.
Yeah. Just competent.
Well,
Not
yeah,
even
okay.
competent plus. Just competent.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 3 dice with the ogre is denied by that.
But see,
Yeah, between the two, you'd rather roll the one on that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah. By far.
One of the nice things about nobility, so I'm drawing the contrast in my head here between what we talked about, Jim, with the foul appearance on the race and how frustrating it is to put an assist in and then not be able to do the block.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel the same because you've still put 2 guard pieces on it. It's kind of annoying for the Dark Elves to do anything about.
Yeah. The stand firm is super annoying.
I'd slam them.
All right, calm down. Calm down.
All right, Andy, all right.
but you could though. You
Oh,
would.
you can block them both. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And you probably do, right? You blitz one of
Yeah.
them and take the hit on the second one.
That's what I mean.
But if you don't knock it over, then you're getting hit back because of the stand firm. So,
Oh.
little update from chat. Maybe this is a bit off topic for I think, but Dimmy G is about to win a tournament with their nobility. So, is that an omen for the nobility in this competition, or is that all of the nobility good energy being stolen by Dimmy G? We'll find out. For anyone who's not understanding this chat, Dimmy G is another Blood Bowl streamer and quite well-known member of the community who has been saying for a very long time that nobility are overpowered. He's turned it into a little bit of a meme, so I really should have explained that for the audience better a while ago, but that is why the Dimmy G Knobs OP line comes from, is because it's Dimmy's joke that he's turned into a bit of a meme, and good for him if he's off winning a tournament today as well.
Yeah. And now Andriy's trying to turn it into reality.
Listen, best win rate at Euro Bowl. And there you see, that's what happens if you take the hits. You can just get wrestled.
It's not that bad though, right?
No, it's
because with having it clears him from the other wrestler, it actually kind of isn't that bad at all.
Uh-oh.
We're still blitzing this one.
Yep.
Ooh.
Are we doing it with the witch? Because that goes to... No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's 2 into 2, isn't it?
It's 2 into 2,
It's
but
fine.
Traps you.
if he turns the stand firm off, yeah, it's a bit of a trap. I don't like this. But I like the rest of his shape. That's fine.
Yeah.
And now I turn stand firm off anyway, because then I force the dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, make more dice.
Yep. 1 in 36 has happened.
Yep. I turned my stand firm off against ODL in one of the games, and he snaked the dodge out on a war dancer.
There you go.
He sneaked every dodge out.
Well, yes, I mean, that also, yes.
Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah,
Did he fail the knockout roll as well?
yes. Every single one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line's pretty effective, isn't it, as a defense?
Yep.
The problem is, you know, with all of this guard, you might just slam into it and see what happens.
I was just thinking that it feels less effective against this much guard, but maybe not.
Well, this is they struggle to just get anywhere, right?
Yeah.
The only way that this works is if he can just grind down the field one square at a time.
Yeah.
Which is sort of possible, but
Is he going to hit the blodger again? Well, I'll try to hit the blodger again. Looks like it, doesn't it?
yeah, he might. I would go for the lineman because we've got rid of one. The apothecary's gone now, and I'm thinking about the 24 turns. So
Yeah.
lifting, I'd rather be up to just playing versus 9.
Yeah, yeah. Up in men rather than up in quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, the apple is gone. But he does go for that. So, like any Kaz on a positional will stick. And, you know, as you were saying against me, like once I was down the positionals, it was so much harder. And it'll be Wenteros's receiving drive before the overtime, right? So he might have to use his rerolls on offense and have none for overtime.
Wow. Yeah.
This is getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, though, because, you know, but you do have to think about that as well. You have to consider everything while you're playing your turns. But, yeah, it might not even get to that.
Runbad calling the play that we can't believe Andy didn't call. Just 5+ dodge and surf the witch.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a terrible play at all.
It's a good piece to get off, Andy. Can't believe you missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Rumbad, next year, how are you free? Sort of maybe early December. There's a headset with a microphone with your name on it.
And it was 2D as well, right? Like this guy is just there.
Stick
so
the guard in, yeah.
5+ with dodge.
I mean, the funny thing is, the amount of 5+ dodges that the Dark Elves did in the first game doesn't even start to feel like crazy, does it?
Exactly, yeah. It's 55. It's basically 55% to surf a witch. Like that's really good odds. Maybe he should have gone for it, yeah.
It's a lot of value, especially with the apothecary gun.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, really should have thought about it. I mean, maybe he did.
Because you can do it with a dodge piece, so it's not even like you have to put a reroll in.
Exactly, yeah.
Mini ogre, slam.
If you do it with the dodge piece, you probably have to make it a 1 dice. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck and get surfed as well.
No,
Because you surf, so you follow and then just walk away.
But if you're doing a 2 dice, you've put the assist in the way.
No, you put it here. He's got guard. Just one across.
Oh yeah.
Then so you dodge in, surf, and then run away. It should have. He really should have considered
In
it.
a moment, we've gone from just being funny to be like, what on earth were they thinking? Not doing that 5+ surf a witch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Dark Elves now applying pressure along an edge.
This is a. I guess it feels like a more stable position than the nobility ever got into on their last drive. So this is the pressure like Wenteros brought last time, but the situation is different to last time.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot tougher for Wenteros. He's probably just going to have to stick to the screening game now. He has, you know, he got that backfield pressure instantly, didn't he? And now it's a bit tricky.
I think one of the, I think almost under-discussed things in Blood Bowl sometimes is how much difference a kick makes. And that doesn't necessarily mean take kick scale. I know you're very big on not taking kick scale, Jimmy, but it still is hugely impactful on every game. If you get 2 offenses and both times the kick goes to a back corner, it's, unless you're elves, in which case it matters a lot less, it can hugely impact your game.
Yeah, completely, yeah. But the problem is kick is just so hard to justify, especially in this kind of competition. You really can't even consider it in this. And in progression, you know, you can take it on random. Anything that can random general, it's a pretty decent thing to get. But it's a really, well, you know, it's just not next season, is it? That's confirmed. Next season's a bit different for randoms. But yeah, it's just usually not worth selecting.
On a big guy, can be a secondary. Random secondaries are still half price.
Yeah,
So
that'd be a really good one.
I think it'd be quite good on your second ogre on an ability team, maybe.
Oh, maybe, maybe.
A Soga.
So good.
He's setting up to smash the Witch Elf
Yeah.
3. I think I'd go for the Line Elf directly in front of the Ogre, because if you push that back, you can create like an N shape that you can just step all of your guard into that forces them back 2 squares.
Yeah.
Right? This is turn 4. It's not a disaster, but it is turn 4, and you've got walked over the halfway line in your CV.
I actually,
you have to get forward. You have to.
Yeah. So
I see, because I see what the argument is. The argument here is position versus
Value.
high roll for the value. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually think I agree with you on that as well. So
way.
we all agree.
Oh.
And then the ogre does what
And
the ogre
another
does.
thing is the ogre boneheading, right?
Yeah.
Because if you, like, let's say you'd made this one, what if you bonehead later? You're not getting any progression
Is there a
at
way
all.
on the ball here now?
It's a Wenteros 3. Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think he'll actually continue the correct thing to do is basically stay as he is, because he's literally held him for an entire turn. He could press end turn, well, move the witch, but he could basically press end turn,
Yeah.
which would be quite good for his time bank.
Yep.
Oh, he's left the leader. Oh no, he hasn't left the leader. This is Andriy, I think, hesitant to say made this worse, but has made this
Worse.
What's the word Andy's reaching for? Yes.
different.
Different.
Badderer.
Badgerer. Deconstructed it in a way that I wouldn't.
Would you say it's not what you would have done, but who can say if it's good or bad?
That's a really interesting way of describing it. I think that could catch on that. Yeah, I'm going for the guy on the bottom left of the screen, and then I think I'm going to punch the Imperial lineman behind the ogre, because that just crunches the whole situation, and now I need less elves to cover the same volume of pitch.
Yep.
And I can do that all with linemen, so the blitzers can be at the front being all blitzery.
Yeah.
Because this only goes wrong for Wenteros now if he snakes a critical dodge.
Yep. Yep. This seems pretty strong. Let's see if he'll do it. Looks like it is. He's got the blitzers in front.
Yep. It looks like he's indeed going for that, broadly, that line of play.
Yep.
This feels like one of those pivotal turns in a drive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This feels like the way these actions go has a big impact on where we go from here. So not a knockdown there is obviously great news for an ability.
Yeah, so stand firm.
Is he going to blitz that then? Because that's the only way that makes sense, doing that block before the blitz, right? Before blitzing the lineman. So he must be going to blitz here.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the blitz. Because he's got to cover in front of the naked witch.
Yeah, because otherwise you definitely just, put the assist in, blitz this guy. So yeah, that's why he did it, the blockless pit first.
Doesn't stand firm, wants to get off the 3-player base, that makes sense. So both players, I guess, not quite getting what they wanted in the end those turns, because the ogre not activating took away the turn for the inability, but then not getting that knockdown stopped the Dark Elves from getting that push they wanted around the back.
Yeah. I mean, this is still a win for the Dark Elves, isn't it? Really, as Andy said, he could press end turn more or less, and it's still a successful turn. So.
Yeah, I think not taking the option that Andy suggested the previous turn, although it would have still failed because you failed the ogre bonehead, but I think it's cost this drive a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I think he has to keep. You just have to push forward, because you're going to 1 in 6 times you don't get a hit at all if you keep trying to use the ogre. So you have to prioritize movement.
Wow,
forward.
he's doing it again.
Yep. But this time goes for the central player.
Yeah, this is better though. This is again, the central feels like the ground to claim, gives you more options for the turns left.
However, because he's got the assist in there, he can't put the player in here.
Yeah.
So he actually hasn't. He could have put in 2 stand firm guards here if he hadn't blocked his path. So interesting.
I'm already getting flashbacks to a ghoul doing a 4+4+3+ dodge at a certain point of a key game earlier this tournament.
Yeah, that would be the 50% for that to work.
I'm not saying that to be mean, Jim, honestly. I'm saying it because actually this is just the way the Dark Elves are.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get better than that if they keep just being in position, because at a certain point they'll just drop back and make that screen, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah, but the thing is, a 50% chance to score isn't that bad, is it? So,
no.
You know, I think at this point, Andriy might take that after the way the last game went.
Yes, that's true. I mean, it's kind of, we've seen 3 such different games with the way this one's going so far, but there's also that thought, from the beginning, I'm not certain. You don't want 0-0 clearly at halftime. It's your drive. You want to 1-0, but I'm not certain 0-0 means you've lost. It's not like last game where you're 1-0 down and you've got no players.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and there's overtime in this one as well potentially. And Andriy, Wenteros's Apothecary's gone. You know, so Andriy hasn't taken any damage. So Andriy is winning this bash game so far. You'd imagine he'd be favoured overall in the bash game, though he got annihilated last game. He's got the ogre. He's got more guard. You know,
that bodyguard being stood and just being based and giving away a free 2D, I think is a bit of a problem. There was no support that went in to help it, so it either should have been stood off or it should have been supported. Yeah. And this is that we talked about this yesterday in terms of the all in, all out. This is half in, and where you've left someone a fairly straightforward solve, they will solve it.
Yep.
I don't think the Dark Elves are going to get a blitz here. I don't think there is a blitz.
No. Maybe just that wrestler if you don't get him down.
Yeah, blitz instead of blocking on the last action to reposition the player.
Yeah. Oh my word.
That would have been a big snake. Oh, we've got the glide. It's obviously not supposed to look that way, but I actually slightly love those glides. They look so fun. They look cool. Just smooth.
I'd never seen one until super recently, and it was amazing.
I don't want to. If that's, please don't take that out. I love it. It looks funny, but
it needs to be rare. It needs to be rare. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Oh yes, if it was every time, it would be like, oh, it's the gliding elf again.
Maybe you blitz with the blitzer. And not just take the free block, right? Because you haven't got a good blitz.
Yeah.
Blitz with a blitzer, so it's a safer 1 in 36 instead of a 1 in 9.
Yep. The only downside here, this is where I would like to fix it. I'd like to put something stood to the left of the Witch Elf, because the obvious blitz now is the Witch Elf, and you create such a panoramic thing. Yeah. Panoramia, I think it's called.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he was willing to sacrifice position to blitz the Witch Elf earlier in the drive. Now he's getting both at the same time. So yeah, surely he's going to blitz this Witch Elf.
Yeah. And the thing is, you want to do it again with the ogre because of the value in the mighty blow.
Yeah.
So a tiny part of me thinks you're better off not using the ogre just to guarantee you get this hit, because we are on turn 6, but it's going to be the ogre, isn't it? So
It's got to be.
Loader?
I was wondering if you think about rerolling it.
No,
Does not reroll it.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, if it was 3 rerolls left, maybe. But yeah, they're not. There are 2 rerolls left. They need those. That's definitely rough for Andriy. That Ogre's had 2 lost blitzes on this drive, and that makes a big difference.
Yep, and now there's a blitz target with that leader exposed. Yes, he stood next to the ogre, but it's, still exposed. Also, you're just the lineman here. He's completely.
I'm absolutely smashing that leader in the face.
Mankiss in chat of 4+3+ leap, but that is also possible, isn't it? If you've got the elf screen in front of you and you get a knockdown, you can save yourself a dodge by doing the 4+ jump over.
It depends how they screen, though.
Yeah.
If Wenteros screens correctly, as I did versus Andy, then you do force the dodges.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't done that. It was annoyingly effective.
Well,
it would have been annoyingly effective.
It was annoyingly correct. Unfortunately, it was very ineffective.
Yeah.
I guess one thing we can say here, it doesn't look like there's any question that Andriy is going to be in scoring range on the last turn of this drive. The way this is moving, it's getting that 1 square a turn. So if nothing else, he's going to give himself a chance to score on the final.
I mean, he's in range now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he wants to get a bit more central if he can, which is why blitzing that guy makes sense, to try and keep him a bit narrow. Like, he's been pretty narrow. Maybe Andriy should have been trying to move over as much as possible.
The other thing that Andriy could do is take the other blitzer and just sort of run it into the green grass on the far left-hand side.
If he can.
Yes, but it's something that you would want to try and do. I would have wanted to be developing that over the last 2 or 3 turns.
Yes.
Now I'm going to unlikely to be able to do that, but it's something I would have been trying to do.
Yes, funnily enough, do you remember the Blitz Pit teams a while back? With, I don't know if you took part. I was on Team Wales with K-Fog and PC. Yeah.
Oh, you famous Welsh players, yeah.
Yep, exactly. And in that, I actually had some practice games with K-Fog, and he had Pro Elves because they had like a really good package, and I had Necromantic. And like every game against him, I had to do
there is
crazy.
a surf on. I think it might be a trap.
Yes, this is a trap surf, definitely. This is turn 7. He does not want to do this surf. And every game I had to end up doing, like, I had to run somebody over the left-hand side here and had to do the handoff, like, every time, because every time K-Fog locked this down. And yeah, this is looking like that's what Andriy should have been trying to do, because this is looking pretty locked down right now.
Yep.
But this turn 6 is the critical turn for Elves, right? Because turn 7 is the turn that you have to break through to get into range for turn 8, and this is not a good spot for Andriy right now.
Interesting that Andriy does not go with the Ogre Blitz that turn, because absolutely really wants to make this ground. So.
Yeah, every turn before is not as critical. Turn 7 is the critical turn for offense, even more than turn 8 in many ways. Yeah,
I'd like to see the ball walk at least 2 squares left, just for freebies. And then the other blitzer, I think, if you scroll down a little bit, is there another lineman off field? No, I'd blitz that guy. So the thrower can, someone blitzes that, and then you can run him round.
Yeah. I like that.
And what that does is that pulls the Dark Elves open a bit more.
I like that. I really do. Giving yourself one other point that's outside of the box you've kind of trapped yourself into. It's not what we're going for.
We're going for the blitz dodge, which is decent.
This is okay.
The problem is if he fails this dodge.
Yeah, that ball's not safe.
Okay, yes, he's not doing it.
Oh.
Was that only if we power, maybe?
No, because if you just pushed him south.
Yeah, he could have dodged.
He could have dodged off.
Yeah.
Now, I'd have moved the cage in considerations.
Yes.
Beforehand.
Yes.
But I would have. Yeah, that plays also fine, right? That's the.
And this is kind of bringing me back to, though. I get doing it, the Apothecary's gone, but was it a mistake to do those Ogre Blitzes? Because this kind of claiming of that middle ground is exactly what you just talked about. And would it have been better if you'd done that 1 turn earlier and you'd have more options then, again, for turn 7, more options for turn 8?
Well, yes and no. The thing is, like, how much better is it if he's another player down?
Yeah.
It's a lot better if he's another player down. And that's the trade-off that you've got to make.
Well, you were saying in the first game, they've got to be lucky, right? They've got to be lucky.
Yeah.
So, this is that.
Yeah. There's like failure states, but there's also success states, isn't there? And there's planning for failure and planning for success. And, if the best things happening doesn't get you the win, then what's the point in trying them? So, maybe he thinks he just has to get removals. This looks pretty easy to defend. He does at least have this guy out a little bit.
I'd smash that in the head with a Witch Elf.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I'd be blitzing this guy.
Yeah, that line elf can go there. The one in the bottom right goes and tags the thrower, and then I can hit that. And I can just push it. In fact, I want to push it backwards, don't I? So maybe not with a Witch Elf.
Yeah, maybe not.
But it's still got to get hit.
And you've got all this to screen as well. Yeah, this looks pretty rough. Pretty rough for the nobility. Few 1 in 36s to make, though, for Wenteros.
He could actually make the same screen you've made, right? He's got 9 players easily to pull back.
Yeah, I think he probably should.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. Because then that makes it 4-4. It's a coin flip. It literally, isn't it? It's a coin flip. So you've guaranteed it's 50%.
Yep.
And you might be able to make it a touch harder, possibly.
Yep.
There is pretty decent time management in this game compared to
Yeah.
previous ones. Interesting, like, it feels like they've got better, both of them have got better each time.
Yeah, maybe it really is the lag. Also, he's not done the proper screen.
So this is, so in case this wasn't clear when we were talking about it before, do you want to explain why this is a bit more vulnerable, Jimmy?
Yes, yeah. So, funnily enough as well, because he's got this player could have been stood in that square anyway. But if this player was, so this is the old school way of doing it, right? You have a player here and a player here, and you have columns, elf screen, whatever you want to call it. And you would have to block him down, and you'd have to do a 4+4+3+ dodges. But now what you can do is you can knock him down to here, and then do a 4+ jump, and then a 3+ dodge. So basically, this is breakable by a 4-3 instead of a 4-4-3. So he's, you know, it's significantly bit harder if you go an extra square behind.
Yeah.
And in this rule set, you can reroll multiple times per turn. You've got 2 rerolls left, so it's a 4+ with a reroll and a 3+ with a reroll.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Now he does have bludgers, so knocking the bludger over isn't so easy, but he can also wrestle him, which won't help. But
true.
he could.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the compromise answer to what you're talking about, is using the blodgers there. Maybe you think you've done enough because of that.
Yeah, it's still just strictly better to have, this one back.
Hopefully he's going to put that last elf in scoring range.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Oh,
That's
nice. Yeah, always nice to have that.
Yeah, something to think about. To be fair, this guy can't do anything, so yeah, he's going straight onto him.
Maybe even a second one? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if they can't affect the play, then that's what they do, isn't it?
Third one?
Maybe.
I don't hate a third one. I
doing?
genuinely don't hate a third one.
Yeah, like,
Unless he's affecting the score attempt.
Yep.
can that please get all the way around the edge? No, it's not fast enough, surely.
No.
Just when he moved that guard around, I was thinking he's not blitzing through there, is he? But
No, it's
it's not fast enough. Yeah. I don't know why we did that last. I don't know why we did that wrestle position.
I think, like, you know, the idea is that if the ball falls over here, he'd get it to this guy, who'd then hand off to this guy, who'd then run and pass it to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's now trying to make a net to get through.
Yeah.
If this is a fail.
Really nice seeing these details. Nice seeing coaches plan for that failure and go, okay, I know what I'm doing, has a downside, and I'm going to do
Something.
the best version that I can think up right now to counter that possibility.
I wonder if a dodge first is best here.
Ooh, so 5+ dodge, 1 dice blitz on the player in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 50-50 on the dodge, bit better. And then you'd have re-rolls for a 1 dice block, which is a 2+, and then a 3+ dodge.
I don't think it is better. It could be, but I don't think it is. I think this will be better. Oh, and he
Full
gets the
pow
pow. Yeah, the fact that you
makes this
can
better.
pow. Yeah, the fact that you can pow.
Especially because it also gets you roll armor on them.
Oh, he removed him, though, so he's got a harder path to score.
Could be good if you've taken that player off, but it's definitely bad for scoring. Oh, well, you rolled it. One in
He's caught the ball.
He's caught the ball.
So now we're going to have a chance to throw it up.
Oh. But, okay, so this is where Mankiz, I've just read Mankiz's name in chat, so I said
This
that.
is where Mankiz comes in.
Mankiz is in chat saying lulz and diced, contributing to the conversation. But Andriy, who's actually playing, says, I guess this is where at least you think to yourself, well, I did do what I could to cover for this happening.
Yeah. He did a fair bit. As much as you could reasonably expect him to do.
Hand it to the blitzer, 3+ through on the diagonal between the ogre and the...
You could 1 dice this guy.
Yeah.
And then you could hand off to this guy who'd come straight through.
Can you do it with a blitzer? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, not
Not
really.
easily.
No.
I think I like the... It's got dodge, 3+ through. And in fact, can we do anything? No, we can't do anything with that either. Yeah, I'm 3+. Here you go. Hold this, 3+.
Wait, you can hit the... You can... No, it
Oh,
doesn't matter.
do you know what?
You can hit the ogre and
Just-
chain him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, T-shape it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so ogre 1 dice into the thrower who goes right, sorry. Doesn't go left. Definitely goes right. And then it's easy.
You can 2 dice the ogre. You've got loads of players. All your players are in on this. So 2 dice the ogre.
Yeah, just push the thrower out of the way.
Yep, and then you can just simply 2 through.
So what we've just done there is what new players should absolutely be doing, which is you take an idea go, I can do that. Right, now come up with a new idea. Can I beat it? Yes. Okay, can I optimize that idea? So it's an iteration process rather than that's what I'm doing. And so many people don't seem to change their plans or modify their plans and iterate. So I like a good iteration, me.
Yeah.
Itchy goes in chat. Andy, this is why I have no time bank.
Can Jimmy explain it? Davo is rambling again.
Wow.
That's a bit hard.
That is hard.
Wow.
That is harsh. I thought that was a really interesting explanation.
Yeah, I thought that was perfect. Yeah.
I think that was a really interesting explanation.
Yeah, so he's not done any of that, but he probably should have done.
So he's just handed off. This player's going to run down, and do we dodge first to the end zone and do the long pass, or do we pass in two tackles? We pass 2 tackles, don't we?
Yeah, it's so much harder to pass that you've got to just do. You've probably got to do the rushes as well.
So it's a 3+, 3+, 2+, 2+, easy as you like.
4+, 4+.
Yep, with a.
Oh, the sun.
Oh yes, and doesn't.
Oh, he
catch.
failed the 4+ catch. Oh my God, he was so close to counter.
Yeah, that was
scoring.
really close. Yeah.
KO's back.
Wow.
No, it's not. KO's not back.
Well, there you go. So some value at least on the action.
Yep.
So if the Dark Elves can score in probably 7 turns, they will collect a slot in the final.
Yep.
That is
That's
the
clear.
equation. Yep.
For you there in chat.
Andy taking over my job there as host, laying it out better than I was going to. Thank you, Andy.
I didn't want to ramble.
You are a loquacious interlocutor, according to chat.
What?
Actually, I think Santa just wants you to say loquacious interlocutor. I think he would like you to say that phrase.
That sounds very, very like Roman, doesn't it? There's a loquacious interlocutor over there. How many swords has he got? 4.
That is the situation as you've set it out, Andy, and the only thing perhaps we could say going for the nobility, other than that we've established they're better on defence and offence, is that they have got a 1-player advantage. It's 10 for the Dark Elves, play 11 on the nobility.
Yeah, and also Wenteros's offensive drive in the first game was horrendous. So you know, if that repeats, which it looks like he started in the same way, he could get into trouble.
I'm still thinking about a loquacious what?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
It's how you cook tea, Andy.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Great. I keep thinking interdictor. I'm sure it didn't have an interdictor in it. Did it have an interdictor? I don't think it did.
Oh, dear.
So obviously the plan here is not quick score, it is get to turn 8, score, celebrate your place in the final.
Yes,
Yeah.
score as late as you possibly can, preferably 8. You know, if you have to score early, you have to score earlier. But
Just a reminder, we did see Andriy attempt a 1 turn, so even on turn 8 we might see Andriy try it. It won't be easy. He got the pushes right last time, but it's the agility of the team that still lets you down.
Yeah. There's another big consideration here, which is re-roll management. Absolutely critical now.
yep.
That is a really good point to make there, actually, Andy. For anyone who's not familiar with the overtime rules for Blood Bowl, you do not get a fresh set of rerolls in overtime. So Wenteros has got 2, and he's got 2 for this half. And if it goes to overtime, that's still all he's going to have, whatever he's not used. So definitely. And in some ways, in the third game of the series, that maybe is one more advantage to being on defense first, because you're more likely to need your rerolls on offense than you are on defense.
Yeah. Because you can let it go, right?
Yeah, because you can let things go on defense, especially if you've scored on your offense in the first half, which hasn't happened here.
Yep.
Right.
Always receive.
Yes.
Unless it's the rain. In which case, I probably should have still have received.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have actually said that back to front. That's an argument for going offense first, not second. I don't know if I said that correctly, but yes. You don't want to be on offense in the second half going into overtime.
No, you really don't. Though, funnily enough, I did choose to kick versus Andy because my plan was to win in 16 turns and not have to deal with overtime at all. So
Turn off, stand firm, trap the witch.
And of course, that's what happens here if... Yep, that witch is pretty trapped.
3+ dodge now, which you don't want to make because the ball's on the floor.
Yep. Isn't what I would have done from Wenteros there.
He lets it go.
Yep.
So it's not surfable, but it's definitely trappable, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, there's a line elf that's surfable because we can we've got a little T-shape and a box. We can poke a line elf into a line elf, pushing the line elf against the edge. And once we then power the first line elf,
yes, then your stand firm can come in, but he can shut that down with it.
He needs to shut it down,
Yeah.
Marion Berry, I did catch that too.
What?
Winning in 16 turns, great strategy. Yeah, Jim's plan, just win in 16 turns, easy.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
Why bother not doing that?
Well,
It's strange how some people sometimes choose not to do that.
I know, I completely messed up earlier.
You thought lose in 16 turns, not win in 16 turns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? You all know what I mean. 24 turns favours Andriy because he's the bash team. The overtime always favours the bash team. You know, because they're going to, at the end of 16 turns, they will have more players than the agility team generally.
Winning is always the best strategy, says Rolex. Well, I don't know. It's ambiguous.
Not always. The way this draw, if the draw had been worked out in advance, the tournament tree, then definitely some people might have lost to not win their group to get a different draw.
Always, sometimes.
That's like England at Euro football.
European champion.
That's the one. Euro football.
Euro football. Oh, Gaz get the power on the Witch Elf, so definitely some punishment here for the going for that hit. Armor break as well, and it wow, massive punishment on that decision to take the frenzy hit.
Yep.
And
did not like it at all.
But also well played by Andriy to punish it.
Yep.
Saw what was happening and said, okay, you're going to get stuck here if you take that.
Yep. I mean, I think that's more just on Wenteros doing it. But yeah, you know, he did the right play. Yeah, Andriy did do the right play into the stand firm.
So it's now 11 plays 9. And one of those Blood Bowl tropes I hear people say a lot, and I probably said it as well, plenty.
Ooh.
When you're playing on offense, you're effectively down an extra player because someone's got to carry the ball.
Yeah, it's true. They are carrying the ball, aren't they? I mean,
yeah. They're down 4 players because they've got 2 people near the ball.
That's a dual carry.
Just helping each other out. Helping each other out. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, this is really tough now for Wenteros, especially thinking back to the previous games.
This is he's been like a seesaw, hasn't he? Up, then down, then up, then down.
Yeah.
He's struggled to pivot.
The thing is, it's not just 2 removals, it's 2 good players off.
Yes. Andy, funnily enough, was in this exact position in one of his games, and you know, you really notice the difference being down those 2 bludgers. It really, really is bad.
This is a special level of zoom, isn't it?
Yes. Zooming right in on the ogre, look. Whoa.
I wish they'd cosmeticized them a bit.
Yes.
They would have, because the ogre, you can make the ogre look really cool, like a little tank.
Yeah, the others did. Fez had like a bow and stuff. He looked lovely, and Spinky had loads of spikes and everything and a crown. The other nobility teams really went to town on theirs, whereas Andriy just went default colours, default logo, default ogre.
Oh, he doesn't get the knockdown on 4 dice.
Yeah.
So that's Witch Elf's now got the other one might take a little bit of punishment to the face.
And it's not like a massive problem because it's 1 player that's only strength 3, but that guard is now good for hitting anything. Like, it's actually kind of an annoying spot for that to finish up.
Yep.
Where's that going? Oh, hold hands.
Yeah, hold hands.
Off to the ODL zone.
Yeah, the ODL zone. He rolled another 1 there. Oh, this is rough, isn't it? Because he's going to roll 1s now, right? He's got 2 bludgers back. He's only got 2 bludgers up. You're going to try and take these out if you can. And then he's got no bludgers, and he's only got 2 rerolls. Even if he gets the score done, well, no, if he gets the score done, he won. If he doesn't get the score done, but uses his rerolls,
yeah.
If he gets the score done using rerolls, and then you get a chance to score back, you might do.
Which is an if, because it is now, so a score can just end it, but
yeah, it's got to be late. Has to score late. Like there's no point scoring early, no matter how bad it gets, because
the weather did go back to normal, so the odds of this game seeing a dramatic Imperial Nobility thrower passing player back on the table.
It's certainly possible, yeah.
I love this. I love what Andriy's doing here. He's just saying, I'm going to smother you. In a nice way.
Another power on a Witch Elf. This could be
Huge,
absolutely
huge
massive
power.
if this goes off.
And it gets him an extra hit as well.
Oh,
Lovely.
love that. Love all of this for Andriy with the armor break as well.
Stun.
Not a removal. I'd be thinking about fouling that. Not next turn because it's done, you don't need to, but depending on the situation, that could be getting fouled in the near future. I think that was a really astute point you just made, Jim, about the you too, Andy, but you just made, Jim, about the the lack of dodge skill in play for these next few turns, because with 2 rerolls, it's very easy to look at elf teams go, oh, it's just a 2+. 2+s fail a sixth of the time, and you don't want to put a reroll into them. That's not a nice spot to be in.
Absolutely not.
Punch the last little line elf. Just knock it over.
Yes, yeah, I like punching the line elf. I like punching this one rather than this one, because then I can punch it free, right?
Ooh.
So yeah, where's this trap?
Oh, it's not the wrestle ones. You have to take it.
Yeah.
It's another removal for the Dark Elves
Oh,
and not for the... So that's a good outcome. It's a stun, but much better for the nobility there than the Dark Elves again.
Flip.
So 8 players.
8 players and a couple of them not in nice squares.
No. Well, I mean, they'd be in great squares if the other 6 were with them.
Oh, no, I meant the ones at front aren't in nice squares. The ones who've got to do 3+.
Right. No, I mean, these would be in great squares if the others were all back, but unfortunately they've like Dacker without Dackering. They've just had players removed. Strange. I don't like the half Dacker kind of thing that people say sometimes.
It's interesting that he's done that both times.
Yeah.
Aside from the offense where there just wasn't a defense, both offenses have been keeping the ball back there, and it's one of those tricky things, because we've sat here and we've said we don't really like that, and perhaps there's a good reason for it that for some reason hasn't played out, and he would like to explain that to us, and we can't see that, but it's just hard to understand when it hasn't happened in both games. It's really hard to get what the mindset is and what the plan was.
Yep.
Oh no, you can't stand there. That's the square you can't stand.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the absolute worst. You'd have been better off going back, right? So you could have just dodged out there if you...
Yeah, that's blocked the 2+ dodge out.
Yeah.
That is peculiar.
So
I think it's going north. That's where I think he's going with it. 4-2.
Okay. Have a scoring threat.
Yeah.
Maybe with this
You
number of
could
players on
jump.
the pitch.
You could jump here and then go out that
3
way.
out. Yeah. So 3 with a no
But you don't want to put the
reroll.
No,
reroll.
no, yeah, there's no reroll. Yeah. Disregard. Errata. He's
No.
gonna he's dodged to here.
He's
That's what
dodged it. Jim, that's mean. Dodged straight into the injury box. Wow. This is really piling up for the Dark Elves now. That's 7 on the pitch.
Yep.
And there's just a 1 dice on the board if you want to, which you probably don't, but
No,
there.
line elf on the edge. On the left-hand side for me. Take the line elf out. And then just go and stand a couple of people around the ball and say, hey, I'm annoying.
Yeah, you've got loads of stand firms. So
Yeah.
jam some of it in. Hope for the best.
I don't hate the principle of what Wenteros was trying to do there, to have a scoring threat, because your drive is going badly, right? So you want to give yourself an out.
It's a good idea.
But
yeah, he gets credit for the idea, right? Absolutely. The execution, he gets a B on that one.
That's much worse than a B, and he knocked himself out. And you've got really low standards of giving a B for essentially killing yourself.
but can't die there, safe. Took the safe course.
Wow.
All right, okay. C minus. I know, I feel like I'm pressured to change my grading. This is now how a university professor should operate. I should have morals and standards and convictions.
Too late for that now, Andy.
Oh, yeah. Ruined.
Boy, this is so tense.
You could fry an egg on this tension.
This is for a spot in the final, guys.
Incredible.
Follow and then walk straight forward. You've got to do something about that line now, Witch Elf.
Stomp the Witch Elf.
I
You've got a lineman
really
here.
want to foul that.
That's a bodyguard, Jim.
It's a bodyguard.
This is not a lineman.
There's a lineman all the way on the right.
This
Can
is
it
a
reach?
lineman.
I can't reach.
Can't reach.
I really want to stomp it. I guess you could just use a guard to lock it down.
I think I just saw the white ring of the, activation and thought there's alignment. Even just completely ignored that it had guard.
Oh.
So he's not standing on the ball.
Maybe the leader goes and stands on the ball, right? It can get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's go for it, but he can get there. I mean, he doesn't need to. The leader's kind of doing a job.
We're fouling with the leader. Broke armor.
Not what I would have done.
Gets caught for a stun. Argue the call. Oh, I thought I'd done it for a second. Loses the leader to argue the call.
That is.
That for me is where you're high rolling to be further ahead. And I've never been a fan of high rolling when ahead.
No. And especially like if he'd used the leader reroll already, fair enough. But like.
Oh, he hadn't used it?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
No, that was not what I would have done. Yeah, no.
So it still has some impact on this turn. That Witch Elf is now not available for the turn. So clearly not the outcome you're looking for, but it's not a zero impact. It's got some impact for this next turn still for the Dark Elves who are not in a happy spot right now.
No.
Maybe you just have to take this to overtime now as the Dark Elves, because they're KO'd,
yeah,
right?
they're KO'd mostly, yeah. So overtime isn't too bad for you, so just score at any point. The problem is scoring at any point isn't easy, is it?
Well, no, you don't have to. Like, you just say, right.
Or just don't score, yeah.
0-0.
Survive.
Don't use my 2 rerolls. Survive. Hang on. Cling on. Well, hang on.
Yeah, it feels so bad to go from having had 11 versus 7 to not. But it feels like it's too much of a...
The reroll is the killer. Like if you'd used the reroll, fair enough. But to have not used the reroll is... I think that's a pretty outrageous foul, to be honest.
Criminal. I think he's going to dive the sideline. I think he's going to try and take that wrestle guy out and dive the sideline.
Wow.
Let's get the pow.
That is a huge pow.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, if that doesn't pow, you're in not a good square.
So what the idea is run down here and then he...
Three's out.
Yeah, 3 twos out.
Oh, left. Right, sorry.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
And then he twos out here and like double rushes.
Yeah, because even if you get sacked, right, the inability you've got to deal with it 7 squares further north rather than... And there's no wrestling things knocking around now.
Yeah.
I'd double go for it there, I think.
Yeah.
Because just being south...
Two rerolls,
that's the problem. 2 rerolls.
I want to do 1. All right, I'll split the difference. We'll go 1.
You can't roll any dice, honestly.
Well, they've gone for Andy's
That's what happens when you roll dice.
And that is now 50% of the rerolls gone for the rest of this game, including overtime if we get it.
This square is great, though, because you've got that player there as well. So this square and then this guy double rushes as well. I like cutting the extra corner. Like, if it was possible, do these 2 and then see if you've got the reroll, see if you've still got dodge.
And did still have dodge there as well.
Yeah, he didn't path it all out. Like, so I did like 2 there. If you keep dodge, get to there.
Yeah.
There's a little Andy Davo sound alert that comes up sometimes, which I really want to hear right now. Is that ball safe? Because I think it might not be.
It's probably got to go for it, right? Like, it's not that safe. He's got to dodge.
Oh, you have to hit this ball, because if not, the Dark Elves can just score next turn.
Yeah. Or just no, you can block him. He doesn't have to dodge, does he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then. But he's not blitzing with. He's not going to get hit with wrestle.
No.
But he doesn't have to dodge. No, you can just block him and then come through.
But you can't just give the Dark Elves a score, because then whatever the position, you're suddenly having to score yourselves.
Yeah. You've got to power him. You've got to stick a reroll in to power him as well.
Yep. One of your 50% of your rerolls.
Yeah.
No, it is 50% because it's the leader foul. Yeah.
Yeah, he just got his leader sent off.
Oh my goodness! What a moment!
That was unbelievable. That was genuinely unbelievable. Goes there.
Isn't that the one you want to do the blitz with?
Apparently not.
I think he's going to dodge. Yeah, I think he's going to dodge. So he's got this.
But that doesn't let you get anyone else through.
No.
I thought that was the hitting piece.
Yeah. Block this, assist with this, and then blitz with him. Yeah.
And that also at least pushes in the right direction. I mean, look, it's not pushing you out of range, but at least it would be making you do an extra rush. Another thing that can go wrong.
Yep.
I'm so confused.
Come
He's
fuzzle.
just going to dodge. But you know, high stakes and that. Maybe he just thought, I've got to dodge. I mean, this is pretty quick on the side. Oh, no, the scatter could go wrong for him, though.
Well, the good news for the nobility is wherever the scatter goes, Dark Elves are not scoring next turn now.
Probably not, yeah.
Well, maybe there's a clever chain push, but you probably haven't got enough players to do it, even if there is.
Okay, well, now they're almost certainly now they're not scoring.
That's a pretty big pickup there on the sideline as well.
Yeah, so this is the thing. By doing this dodge blitz, he had movement left for the recovery, right? Whereas he wouldn't have had it if he'd blitzed with the other guy.
So planning for success rather than trying to deal with failure.
Yep.
So the ogre can go and stand.
Ogre foul the witch.
Yes. Yes.
Do it. Give us what we need.
I like the ogre trying to pin down the witch elf. Right, just go. Get involved. Because the witch is your actual problem now, isn't it? That's the only way you viably take the ball off the blodgy thing. But I guess what he's probably going to end up doing is dodging the guy off the line, off the edge, to stand behind the ball carrier, and then the blitzer that hasn't, there's 2 squares to the right of the ball carrier, will dodge out. Oh, there, that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's now 3+ with dodge into 3+ with dodge for 2D on the ball.
Yep.
Oh, and hang on, what am I doing it that way? Why don't I just take one of the line people?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just do that instead.
Yeah, that seems okay, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think with Dark Elves here, you're dreaming of a scatter out, right? Because if it goes to the far side of the pitch, there's a couple of elves over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, would that play have been on if this witch elf was up? And probably wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Maybe that's worth a reroll.
Yeah, maybe it was. It was a hell of a player to do it with, though. Oh my goodness.
But the choices were a player with leader or a player with guard. They're both pretty good.
Or not.
Or not.
Or not. Yeah. If you're going to do it.
I'm going to table not as my option, please.
You're
Well,
no fun.
Who knows? Maybe
That's the case that's been made, is that there is an argument for it, even with the sun.
Yeah.
What about here? Instead of taking 2 dice fishing a pow, the witch elf dodges through the gap.
Yes.
Right, so 4+ to get through, but then I get 2 dice with wrestle twice.
Yeah.
And I think I'd probably take that option. It's a little bit harder, but my word, the knockdown potential is Monu is not going for that.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
They are going for it. I'm not.
Oh, he's surfing it.
Oh my god.
He's going to surf
It's pretty
it.
rowdy, isn't it? Because it's just a 1D into a 1D.
Makes the dodges. Rolls a skull. Last reroll.
Gone.
Nothing else left after this.
Now it's
Take the
2D,
knockdown.
2D uphill.
No, it's a 1. It's the guard. The ogre's got the guard.
What do you do?
so it is, yeah.
Do you make them roll again, or do you?
Make them roll again.
Wow.
Andrew does not, and is rewarded. That's a nice scatter for the nobility.
Wow.
Although it's not ungettable, right? It's a 3+ pickup.
Yeah, it's just a
else
3.
can do it. What a game! What a game!
Oh no, so right. Yes, sorry. Because if it was 2 uphill, I might make them roll again. Sorry.
It was not 2 uphill.
It wasn't a 2 uphill because that's a line.
It's the ogre that has the guard. Yeah.
And as we talked about, the out of bounds was really bad for the inability. So I think I actually agree on this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said I wanted this last game to be a close one, and we are getting a close one. This is going to go. Maybe we'll see if it goes to turn 16, but it's definitely going very, very close.
Don't really know what the play here is for the elves.
You've got to go for the 3+ pickup, don't you? Just don't know which one
but
with.
like how and where and what?
She's blown dodge already, right?
Yeah, I know we've got 1 square there.
Because if she doesn't move, bin. Right? And worse, if the elves go for the pickup and fluff it, triple bin, like quad bin, multi-bin.
Multi-bin. To be fair, you're at the end of this game with no rerolls. Everything's going to be
multi-bin.
The bin is right there waiting for you.
It's got the lid open and the table is just on a tilt.
It might even
just
be bin
potato.
day.
Yeah. Base the wrestle there. This guy can come around to base this wrestle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 1,000,000 2+. So this guy gets the ball and just potatoes off.
By the way, this time bank thing's been so critical. The time bank right here is being used well. You're using this for a turn when you should use it. We've got pass selected here, but we failed the pickup, so we will never find out what that pass was meant to be.
Wow, maybe passing it over here.
Oh my god. But that's like a 4+ pass. That would have seemed crazy.
Yeah. Who else could he have passed it to? I guess the idea would be that, it
Unless
would
it's
just be away from...
a short, like a quick pass punt to the top corner and hope that you can just use your speed to be ahead of them.
Yeah, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then punt over there. Oh, I still don't really like it.
Andy,
Yes.
as our resident expert, can you possibly see a surf here?
Can you give me a minute? I'll come back to Oh, I was actually trying to work out how do you get them both? Not can you get one? How do I get both of them?
Is all 3 on the table?
No,
you could certainly surf your own blitzer.
Yeah. The correct move, I think, is activate the ogre next and stick it behind the witch elf. If you roll the power on the witch elf, then you're going to be surfing the blitzer. There we go. So that now means that we know who he's surfing, and it also gives you the ability to pick up the ball on the mini ogre.
Yep. Oh my God!
Wow.
Even if this goes to overtime now, you've got a favour.
Yeah. Don't say it's over, but wow.
Well, if all the chaos came back, the thing with overtime now as well is it's not the old overtime that's sudden death. This is 8 turns guaranteed. So even if the Dark Elves make it to overtime, even if they get the ball first, even if they score, they have to do it in 8 turns, which they couldn't do with 2 rerolls.
Yeah, it's basically kicks at best for Wenteros if it gets to overtime, which I don't think it will.
Hang on a second, chat. Just quietly, for the first time in this series, I think Jimmy is trying to tell us he would not be confident.
Oh, I'd still be massively confident. How could you not be confident? But no,
Stay there. Don't move. Just stay there.
Confidence remains unwavering. I'm sorry, what was I thinking there? Thinking that maybe Jimmy was starting to doubt.
Oh, we can surf. We can surf the ball here.
Yeah.
You need a 5+ dodge in from somebody. Right, hit this guy, chain him to there, and then then you need this guy to make 1 billion dodges into there, and then surf.
You won't have anyone behind you.
I mean, this guy does 1 million dodges.
Oh, okay. So, in a world where I can pick up my players in a custom sandbox environment, yes, there is indeed a surf on the table.
Yes, and your alternative to that is lose. Yeah. So you probably got to go for it.
So it's 5 against how many?
Gets the power. Oh my! It's on. The surf is on here. The surf is on.
Can do it. The problem is now he's got to get there himself. Oh, he can jump over.
Yeah, jump over. Is exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, jump over.
It's only a 5.
Jump over and the surf is on.
Oh, this
only
is
a 5.
Fantastic.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, you literally have to.
You have to do
it.
it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
5+ jump. In case anyone's missing it, just 5+ jump straight over the play you've done.
Yeah.
Do you know
rolled a 1.
Saw it but didn't make it. Fair enough. That was the correct play.
Yeah, that was a much easier way of doing my ridiculous surf. Wow.
And now he's going to get 2 more elves served.
Yep.
But
one thing that will remain on the pitch is Wenteros' confidence.
Oh my goodness.
right, ogre move first. Get that out of the way.
No, we're surfing this first, getting that done.
Yeah, get that done.
Without block. He did it without block.
Okay, yeah, no, don't like that. I really don't like that. Maybe he thought it was a wrestler because he saw the guard, right? Maybe he just thought it was a wrestler.
Or maybe he thought it was a No, that's different.
Probably thought it was wrestle.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it was a lineman, wasn't it? So it doesn't really matter if it was a block or wrestle. So yeah, he should have definitely done it with a block.
Yeah.
Wow. But now Andriy is pretty much in range.
Yeah.
It's not over. It's really close though. It's really, really close.
Holy crap, the ogre moved.
Yeah.
What?
Unexpected.
Nice.
Wow.
Personally, just disappointed that Ogre didn't do a little cheeky double rush to get the second serve here.
Yeah.
I hope what he does with the lineman behind the blitz target is it now just double rushes.
Yeah, yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, yeah, because it's kind of free, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because the consequence of leaving it on the pitch is you might get hit next turn. if you take it out, it can't hit you, so you're safe.
Yeah.
So this is, and I'd put rerolls into it and everything, because you win the game once that's gone.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
That's fine. That's actually really good. It's now off the.
Yep.
It's out of strike range.
Yep. Double rush. Rerolls in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have passed the whole thing out, used both rerolls, as you say.
Yeah.
Incredible. There are 3 elves left on the pitch.
And Wenteros' confidence down in the bottom right corner.
Well, the good thing is, you see, now he's got more confidence per elf.
His elf to confidence ratio is sky high.
Yeah. You know, this is the point where Dionysian would be saying, "This is fine."
Oh no.
Oh dear.
And there we have it.
Absolutely incredible stuff. We joked about it, we teased about it, but I think I'm now going to feel confident to say it. Imperial Nobility are going to be in the final of the 2024 World Championship.
Unbelievable, yeah.
So Imperial Nobility better than Davo, better than Jim, better than Olivier Gilak, better than everyone in the top half of the draw, because they've beaten them all.
Yep.
Much better than Tree.
Yeah.
Funny enough, better than Bright, who had the same exact build as Diomed.
Unbelievable.
Are we doing dominance foul here as well?
Oh, I think
Try
so,
to finish a pitch clear.
Oh, now on turn 16, you could foul that last elf for absolute dominance.
Yes.
It's the ogre foul. It's the ogre foul.
Yes. Oh my God, that just killed him.
What a great animation as well. Great
awesome.
big stump. It's not a pitch clear, but it is a spot in the final for Andriy, who we had on the show just earlier.
Wow.
Defended the nobility. Jimmy still rolled his eye at the nobility. And Jimmy can be as confident as he likes. The nobility won, the Dark Elves did not. Andy, you caught it. Easy win for Andriy. And you called it in both of those last 2 games.
Well, there we go. Right. Yeah. So, who's going to win the final?
Oh, it's such a good final now. We've got Diomed, who was clearly an early favourite, talked about, such a strong necromantic player, someone who was in the final last time around, and he's got that chance to make up for losing the final to Strider at the start of the year. I'm sure that's going to be an extra motivation. But on the other hand, we've got the People's Champion, the team that we know that chat has been cheering through all the way through, and which has come through a side of the draw where they've had to cause an upset and then they've knocked out the other team that caused a big upset. I think it's a great final.
I think Andrew's going to win the whole thing.
There you go.
Bold.
Is that too much confidence, Jim? We've just seen the confidence.
Yeah, that's too much confidence from, I think, Diomed. I don't think he's got it nailed on. It could definitely go to 3 games. I think Diomed is definitely favourite.
Let's look at the bracket on stream so we can see the path they've both gone through. So Andriy started off in the quarterfinals. Of course, they started off right back at the start when there were 64 teams, but they started off this weekend in the quarterfinals against Spartacus and Spartacus's Lizards. We caught the first game of that, which was a really dramatic comeback draw for the Nobility. They really nearly lost that first game, and Andriy dug it out and got the draw, then went on to win that in game number 2. We've just watched their semi-final against Wenteros, where won the first game pretty well. Real comeback from Wenteros in the second game. Huge shift in how well we saw Wenteros play that second game, but Andriy recovering to win the third game, make a really dramatic series and gets to the final. Diomed, again, one of the early favourites. Necromantic beats Orcs in the quarterfinals, beat Andy in the semi-finals, and hey, I think Jim's definitely going to agree. I think Andy, even though he's picking Andriy, might say that this is the favourite, has not lost a game in either of these quarterfinals or semi-finals, both of them against good coaches, so that is certainly a way to head into the final feeling confident about yourself.
Yeah, but it is interesting. It is interesting that Andriy knocked out Bright. Bright is like Diomed's training partner. They both picked the same roster, and Andriy beat him in over 3 games, so that's really super interesting, I think.